Yeah, I'm certain that we're dealing with something very real, very unusual, something that's clearly not man-made. You take, for instance, the Tic Tac, the gimbal, and the Go Fast. It
Yes.
was that to the USS Theodore Roosevelt and the Nimitz sent dispatched Navy jets in pursuit of these things. If there was a pilot on board these objects, then the G-force alone would have, just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it could have been some fancy drone, but I don't know. I mean, for me, when you look at the history of ufology and the amount of sightings over missile silos in America, switching off the missiles, it is something to be, I guess, concerned about. But thankfully, at this moment in time, nothing other than the troublesome abductions have been undertaken.
Sure. And many people have this idea of a salvation incoming, don't they? Where, particularly as we appear to be teetering on the brink of some nuclear exchange or other pretty much every day of the week lately. It's like being alive back in the 80s again when the Cold War was kicking off. But many people say, oh, well, if we did attempt to have a nuclear exchange, then they, being the visitors, would likely stop us. And there's a sense that the visitors, let's call them, are beneficial and looking after us. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't truly know for sure, but I mean, there are a lot of implications. I mean, what truly would happen if mankind had open contact with an alien species? And we've got to ask the question, do the governments of our planet, individual governments, have some form of protocols regarding first contact? I think they do, to be honest with you. And, what would disclosure do to the various churches and religions of this world? What would happen if some form of alien technology fell into the wrong hands? If these so-called visitors had bad intentions, would we be their slaves? What would be the impact on mental health, the world's economy? I mean, I could go on. There's so many different facets to the possibility of first contact. And so we have to be very, very careful. Are we prepared for this? It's a wee bit up in the air at the moment.
It certainly is. And I mean, how can you truly be prepared for something that we presumably don't have the exact handle on in the first place? You can prepare for a fire, a flood, an earthquake, but how do you really prepare for something that you don't really know what the broad reach of its consequences are going to be?